Hey y'all, it's Brian the Tattooed Worm Guy, back again. Gonna go ahead and feed these worms again tonight, and I figure I'd just go ahead and include y'all in on it. It's been about 6 days since I started this Nature's Footprint 360 Worm Factory. They seem to be doing really well. If you'll remember, the first night I put a bin in there and I put some coconut nor, some pumice, some glacial minerals, sprayed everything down with water, got them where they were fairly wet. Checked it with the moisture meter and covered them up with a brown paper bag. A couple days later, I shredded some paper, the type that you get it from an Amazon package, the brown wrapping paper, and also added some eggshell. They've been doing pretty well. They seem to be really eating this stuff up. The wife went out in the garden today and she harvested a bunch of collard greens and radish greens, I guess you'd call them. And so we ate pretty good tonight, but I've got some collards and radish tops here. I'm going to blend those up, throw them in. I've got a little coffee. She made a little coffee for herself this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle that in there as well. One thing I did neglect to tell y'all, when you're setting these bins up, if you happen to have any completed compost already, whether you had it made previously yourself or you've got like a store-bought bag, you can also throw a little bit of that in that bin as well. The bacteria that are in it can be beneficial to getting this composting process started. It's not absolutely necessary. As you've seen, I didn't use any myself. I didn't really have any anyway, so I didn't use any the last time I started this bin. I didn't have any problems, so I don't think it's necessary that you need to go out and run and buy a bag of it if you don't have it. But if you already got a garden going and you've got a bag of compost in your supplies or whatever, and you want to throw a few scoops of it in there, it's definitely not going to hurt, and it probably will help. So just keep that in mind. Tonight I'll go ahead and, like I said, add the spinach and radish, the coffee. I'll try to look at things. I might end up adding some paper as well if I think they need it. But I'll go ahead and pause now, go blend this stuff up, and then we'll take a look inside the bin when I get back. Alright y'all, I'm back. Got the worm bin set up here on the counter where we can look at it. I'm going to point these holes out. Now this morning I came in here and looked at these. These were tiny little holes, about the size of this one, a little tiny hole like here, like somebody stuck a pencil in it. And they've been tearing this brown paper bag up today pretty good, as you can see. So they really seem to be liking it. I'll probably end up cutting me out a piece of cardboard to lay in here, just some corrugated cardboard. So as you can see, the bag's falling apart already, so that's good. They're hungry. I'm just going to kind of lay it to the side. And I didn't realize until I posted a few videos, this microphone seems to be working pretty well. You can hear the worms moving in the soil, so sorry if that grosses anybody out, but that's just what it is. And look at that, they're down in there. They're starting to get that brown paper bag off the bottom as well. So, man, I'm not really finding any evidence at all of the lettuce that I put in here the other day. That's kind of surprising. Got just a little bit right here. Wow, okay. Well, I had some concerns that I was going to be feeding them too quick, but I don't think that's going to be the case at all. They really seem to eat that up. So what has it been, like 3 or 4 days? That's pretty quick. So what I've done with these collard greens, I blended them up. I was kind of having trouble with them. You can use a food processor as well, but I just use the blender because that's about the only thing I'll use that big jug on the blender for. And to me, it seems to clean easier than my wife's food processor. I had somebody mention to me one time, oh, it's gross to use this for worm food, but it's just vegetables. I mean, you're not mixing anything special up in here, so it's really not that big of a deal. I ended up adding a cup of water to this because it was pretty dry. even though it had been washed and everything, probably had some moisture on it. And to try to help soak up some of that water that I added, I had a piece of newspaper that came in one of the Amazon packages. I also added about a half a handful of the pumice and a little scoop of minerals, and went ahead and sprinkled some more eggshells in it as well. So we're just gonna throw this in here, and I really think they're gonna like this. As quick as they ate that lettuce and spinach up, they're probably gonna devour this, because I blended this up a lot better than I did the lettuce and the spinach the other day. So you want to try to get all of that out, you can. I may come back when I get off the camera and try to wipe this out and get it back in there, but you get the idea. Probably going ahead and tearing this bag up. Like I said, they seem to be doing a pretty good job of it. That kind of actually surprises me. Seems like they used to last a lot longer than that, so it just tells me that they're willing to eat it. So that's good. Like I said, probably what I'll do here is just cut a cardboard box out. You want to be sure when you do this that the cardboard boxes, you want to like pull your tape off of it. Yeah, you don't want to stick it in there with like adhesive labels or tape on there, but I got one trying to come out of the box. But yeah, look, man, they're really working this bag over, so it's about time to get rid of it. And it kind of helps, like I said, to cover this stuff up, so it'll help keep the smell down. The paper's not going to smell as bad, so we'll spray it down with water. Oh, I almost forgot, we've got the coffee as well, so it's just, not my wife's normal coffee, but it's just normal, everyday Folgers coffee. It's some that a friend of ours left at the house when they came and visit, and she was out of her coffee this morning, so it's a good little treat. I've often wondered if it gives them a little caffeine buzz when they eat it. So and like I said, if you are using a coffee maker with a filter, throw the filter in there too, they'll eat it. I think things seem to be going pretty well. I think I did pretty good by getting 2,000 worms this time. I don't remember the first time I did this, how many I got. I want to say it was 500 to 1,000. And it just seemed like it took forever for them to ever really take off. These seem to really be taking off a whole lot faster, so check the moisture meter here. It seems to be fairly well. It looks pretty wet, so over here in this corner a little bit. No, it's pretty good. All right, guys, that's all I got. I just figured you'd want to take a look at it and hang loose, and we'll come back here in a few days and check them out again. Like I said, if you got any questions, email tattooedwormguy@gmail.com. Like and subscribe to my page, and we'll see y'all in a few days. Thanks.